Hey everybody, this is Kyle from Track by Track. Thanks for joining me on my carpool today and spending a few minutes talking about music, which is always a great way to pass the time when you're driving. And one of the hottest topics in music right now has to be the recent Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations. You know, I've had a number of people commenting on my videos that I've done about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and talking about who they think should or shouldn't be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's a controversial subject, and I'm not going to get deep into that in this particular video, but there was one comment that came through from a viewer that it really got me thinking, and I wanted to bring it up with you guys and see what you think about it. And that was from Ed Hansen. And Ed Hansen said, Kyle, I think Weird Al should be in the Hall of Fame. Country Hall of Fame has Minnie Pearl, Homer and Jethro, Ray Stevens. Your thoughts? Well, Ed, I agree with you. I think that Weird Al is definitely someone who should be considered for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's been eligible, technically speaking, since 2004. And today is October 23rd and Weird Al's 60th birthday. So I could think of no better day than today to kind of make a case for why he should be considered for the Hall of Fame. And I have three reasons that I'm going to get into with you about why I think he's a good candidate for induction. The first of those is that Weird Al Yankovic has had a lasting impression on popular music. You know, everyone knows who Weird Al is. You say that name and people are instantly going to visualize the crazy hair and the Hawaiian shirts that he's so iconically known for. But even more than just the image, of course, is the music. So many people know the songs, and the truth of the matter is that probably just about anybody can quote some of the lyrics from at least one of Weird Al's songs. And of course, a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're parodies of other well-known songs very often. So that makes them even easier to remember. And on top of that, Weird Al's parody versions of songs have in some cases become almost as ubiquitous as the originals. Take a song like Michael Jackson's Beat It. Obviously a huge song, but Weird Al's parody of that song, Eat It, was also huge. People can certainly quote lyrics from that song quite easily. You're thinking of them right now since I brought it up. Songs like I Love Rocky Road or Like a Surgeon, it's the same thing. It's a lasting impression that Weird Al has had on just, you know, popular culture in general. So my number two reason for thinking that Weird Al would make a good candidate for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is that he's also had an enduring career. He's lasted 40 years and counting at this point, and he's had 14 studio albums. He started out with getting songs played on the Dr. Demento radio show back in 1979, and after that he was part of the glory days of MTV during the 80s. I mean, MTV really was a huge benefit to getting Weird Al's career kind of started up. Since then, he's had 9 gold or platinum selling albums. His most recent album, Mandatory Fun, hit #1 back in 2014. So again, that long career, and he's still selling extremely well. His songs have also been hits on the pop charts. Eat It hit number 12 back in 1984, and in 2006, White and Nerdy broke the top 10. So that's impressive by any measure. He's also won 5 Grammy Awards as recently as this year. So again, here's a guy 40 years in, and he is still having a big impact that way. The third reason that I think that Weird Al deserves to be considered for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is that he holds a unique place within the musical landscape. So his music, for example, it's like a mirror to popular culture, and not just to popular culture, but to music in general, right? I mean, he's got such a keen observation of what's going on in popular culture at any given moment when he creates those parody songs, and it's always, you know, really sharp stuff, not just silly humor all the time. There's always some just really sharp writing behind the songs that he does create, and I just think he doesn't get enough credit in that regard. So kudos to him. Also, so many artists feel honored when Weird Al selects one of their songs to record a parody. I've heard it said that Dave Grohl has commented that Nirvana felt like they'd finally made it when Weird Al wanted to do a parody of Smells Like Teen Spirit, that really meant something to them. Another thing that I think goes along with that is that Al is also very respectful of the artists that he chooses to parody. He doesn't do parody songs of people without their permission. You know, it's well known, for example, that he approached Prince about wanting to do a parody of one of his songs. Prince said no. Weird Al doesn't need permission to do that kind of thing. Nobody does, because of the fact that it's humor-based, it's parody-based. But out of respect for the original artist, Al doesn't do that. So I think that's definitely something that's worth noting about him and about his career. Also, we've said a lot about the parody songs, but you know, he also does some original songs too. It's not like he's always just copying other people's stuff. Take songs like One More Minute, for example. That was a song that was all original to Al. And then, in addition to that, he does original songs in the style of other artists. Take Dare to Be Stupid, for example. That's a song that was a parody of the style of Devo without actually using a Devo song itself as the basis of it. That takes real talent. That takes skill, creativity. And I think that that's something that Weird Al has just in spades. And he doesn't get enough credit for that, for the talent behind what it is that he does. And then finally, in this category of Al kind of holding that unique space is also, it's comedy based, right? Why shouldn't comedy have some kind of place, comedy music, within the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't necessarily think that it needs to be excluded. Now, there's been a lot of debate about the different genres that the Hall of Fame has kind of expanded into, and I'm not saying that I think that the Hall of Fame should just flat out say, okay, well, now we're going to take comedy albums. What Weird Al does is on a different level altogether. I mean, he really truly is, you know, a rock artist in that regard, and sometimes a hip-hop artist or a rap artist. It's wildly impressive, and I think that there should be a place for that within the Hall of Fame. And consider the fact that a lot of people who are in the Hall of Fame already, they've done lighthearted types of songs and music as well. The Beatles, for example, have done some kind of goofy sorts of songs, not necessarily on the same comedy level, but, you know, again, there's room for this, and I think that we shouldn't take the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame so seriously that we just flat out reject someone like Weird Al, who is just blanket categorized as a humorist. I think he's also very much a musician and should be respected in that regard. So those are the three core reasons that I think that Weird Al deserves to be considered for nomination in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I know that not everyone's going to share that opinion, and I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on that. Do you think that Weird Al is someone that the Hall of Fame should be putting up for nomination? You know, it's not a perfect institution. I don't take it super seriously, so that's part of the reason that I'm willing to go ahead and say things like that about Weird Al. But you know, please do chime in the comments section below. I'm anxious to hear what you have to say. I'm also curious to hear what you have to say about this little format here. If you enjoy joining me on my afternoon commute, heading home from work today and having a casual conversation about music, it's an idea that I've been kicking around for a little while, and I want to give a shout out to Noah from SMEB Reviews. He kind of beat me to the punch on this one. He's got his Take a Walk video series that he just kicked off, very similar concept to this. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, but he did it first, so credit to him. If you'd like to see more videos like this, and if you have some ideas for some fun topics that we could talk about during the car ride, I'd love to hear it, so please do chime in the comments section below. Meantime, again, my name's Kyle. This has been Track by Track. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and also be sure to click subscribe, because of course, music fans always want to get new releases the day they come out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.